a fantastic morning, Hornets, and welcome to today's edition of Bgsn Student News. I'm Melissa Harrell.
And I'm Jaden Petty. Today we will be taking a look at spring vacation trips, virtual reality, college, and as always, sports.
But first, here's Caleb Steele with your weekly weather forecast.
Good morning, Hornets. Today is a Tuesday, so that's a thing. Nothing really happens on Tuesdays. As for the weather, today will be rainy with a high of 53 and a low of 29. Tomorrow will also be rainy with a high of 35 and a low of 30. And Thursday will be, you guessed it, rainy with a high of 34 and a low of 26. Here's an interesting fact. Woolly mammoths were still around when the pyramids were being built. Back to the desk.
You may or may not have started working on solutions in January. Lainey went out and got more.
Just as 2020 begins, the New Year resolutions are in full swing. I talked to Mr. Daniels about if he is doing anything to complete his New Year's resolutions.
Alright, my New Year's resolution was to start exercising some more. So trying to balance out my schedule to be able to do that, which it's now February and I haven't started exercising more, but I did take one step. So I like playing basketball. It's a fun sport and good exercise in it. So I did buy a brand new pair of shoes that are still in the box, but I just got them last week. So it's actually tomorrow, Tuesday. I plan to put them on and start running around the court and shoot the basket. So hopefully from there I can start getting in the weight room and maybe running on a treadmill. When it gets warm outside, I'll definitely try to run outside and go from there.
I also talked to Mr. Carr about his New Year's resolutions.
One of my resolutions is to become better organized. At home, I've done quite a bit. I've tried to organize the garage a little bit better. But no, not really. That's probably about it.
This has been Lainey Wilson for Bgsn Student News. Thank you for watching, Hornets.
This weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indiana Home and Garden Show was held. Mariana went out to get more on this topic.
This weekend, I took a trip to Lucas Oil Stadium to go to the Indiana Home and Garden Show. I asked Alexis Whiteman to explain what the show
The show had lots of cool things entrepreneurs were trying to sell, like jewelry, home kitchen sets, massagers. There were even some people cooking food and letting people try it.
Of like home ideas that you want to decorate your house with, and they also had a lot of things that you could put.
The show had lots of cool things entrepreneurs were trying to sell, like jewelry, home kitchen sets, massagers, and even food. Alexis then gave me some examples on what was at the show.
They also had massage chairs and a pet brush that gets away pet hair off of your clothes, your furniture.
Overall, I had lots of fun walking around and looking at the cool things people were trying to sell. I highly recommend you guys to take a trip downtown at Lucas Oil next year with your parents to find and most likely buy some pretty cool things. This has been Mariana for Bgsn. Back to you guys at the desk.
Hornets, you all listen to music and all have your favorites. Gerbil went out to get some of our very own classmates' favorite music.
Hey there, Hornets. I'm Gabriel Martin with Bgsn. I hope you guys are having a fantastic morning and we'll have a fantastic day today. Today we'll be talking about your guys' favorite music. My favorite song is American Ride by Toby Keith. So I decided to go out and ask you guys what your guys' favorite songs were. I first asked Caleb Steele what his favorite song is.
My favorite song would probably have to be Mr. Roboto by Styx. You know, don't worry, got to Mr. Roboto. Yeah, that's it. That's why I say it's my favorite song of all time. So.
I then asked him what his favorite genre of music is.
I like pop songs and any song that's catchy, and I also listen to 80s music as well. However, I don't like rap. I don't know why, but it just doesn't appeal to me.
I then asked him who his favorite music artist is.
My favorite artist is probably Kenny Loggins. I'm sort of going old school here, but I really like his songs.
That's it for me, Hornets. Back to you wonderful people at the desk.
Over the years, The Simpsons have predicted many crazy things. Jace got more on this topic.
Since its premiere in 1989, The Simpsons have been one of the most recognizable shows. The show, though, has had many moments where it has basically predicted the future. Some are more obvious how it was predicted, but others, well, they are not. One of these predictions, which is more well known, was when The Simpsons predicted Trump would be a president. This prediction, in fact, was made due to Trump previously stating, years before he would become president, that he may run for it. The writers of The Simpsons made the prediction based off of that. Another one was in 1992 when The Simpsons aired a show about the Super Bowl. In this episode, it had predicted that the Redskins would defeat the Bills in the Super Bowl, which then happened. The next 2 years, they re-aired the episode before the Super Bowl, changing the teams for the current teams. Both of these 2 years, they also predicted the correct team. These predictions, according to the writers, were all luck though. The prediction that is most questionable by far is about the so-called God particle. In a 1998 episode, Homer nearly predicted the mass of the elementary particle, the Higgs boson, also known as the God particle, more than a decade before the true answer was discovered. During this episode, Homer wrote on a chalkboard a very complex equation which predicts the mass of the Higgs boson. No one knows how they managed to do this, and may never know.
Now let's toss it over to my good buddy Joshua Fryer for sports.
Good morning, Hornets, and welcome back to sports. In Beech Grove news, boys swimming has a meet tonight against Cascade and Mooresville. This meet will be at Cascade, and this meet will start at 5:30. Also, boys basketball has a game tonight against the New Palestine Dragons. JV will start at 6 and varsity at 7:30. In NBA news, it was obviously hard for the Lakers to concentrate on basketball this week, and head coach Frank Vogel talked about how strange the team's first game back was after Kobe's death. But they rebounded nicely from the loss to the Blazers and looked incredible in a win over the Kings, a possible sign that things might be starting to return to some semblance of normalcy. The Pacers should have had 2 wins this week, but they somehow lost to the Knicks on Saturday. Victor Oladipo will take a while to get back in full speed, but he hit a cold-blooded three-pointer to send the Bulls game to overtime in his first game back of the season, quickly re-endearing himself to the home crowd. Sports fans around the world love the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl commercials. I went out to get more.
I think we can all agree that the Super Bowl commercials were very good this year. I asked my dad on what his favorite Super Bowl commercial was.
I believe that the Bill Murray groundhog commercial was the best because it related back to the past of the movie and added a little new flair with the Jeep in it. And the groundhog was a great actor.
The average cost for a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl has ranged from $37,000 at Super Bowl I to around $2.2 million at Super Bowl 34 in 2000. But the Super Bowl 49 in 2015, the cost has doubled to around $4.5 million. And now, Super Bowl 54 in 2020, the cost has reached a whopping $5.6 million. Now let's not forget, personally, my favorite commercial was the Smart Park. Now, go out there and get you a Smart Park car. Have a great day, and back to the sports desk.
Yearbook has been sending out some important information about senior superlative forms. They were sent out yesterday afternoon. These submissions are going to be due next Friday, February 14th, so make sure to go vote on the different categories.
Yearbook has also sent out senior quote forms. We ask that you submit an appropriate quote that is no longer than 100 characters. These quotes are going to be due on February 28th. Remember, seniors, if you had a senior portrait taken, you do get the opportunity to submit one of these quotes. If you did not have your portrait taken, unfortunately, you will not have one.
Yearbooks and ads are still for sale. You can come to the studio and visit Mr. White for more information. Or if you want to order one right away, you can go to yearbookordercenter.com and enter school code 8750.
That is all for today's segment of BGSN 10.
Teachers, don't forget to hit that bell icon and subscribe button to get notified every time we go live.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BG Student News. I'm Jaden Petty.
And I'm Melissa Harrell. Have a terrific Tuesday, Hornets.